My name is David Dwight, and I started at Gordon-Conwell working on my MDiv, and I was there from 1988 to 89. I transferred seminaries for denominational reasons. I ended up getting my MDiv from a different seminary, but I went back to Gordon-Conwell to get my Doctor of Ministry, which was completed in 1995. So my sense of Gordon-Conwell's experience in shaping for me is that Gordon introduced me to the depth of the church's history and theology and foundational thinking, as well as a rich engagement with what I would call a traditionally orthodox evangelical theology. So all of that gave me a deep framework. I was a relatively young new Christian when I started seminary, so all of that began to get my feet into some solid soil. When I got out of seminary with my Master's of Divinity, I joined the staff of a church as a missions pastor, and I was on staff in that position for 7 years. That opportunity gave me exposure to be traveling all over the world and to be connecting with believers and the church and the body of Christ in so many different cultures and contexts. Those years gave me a really expansive vision of God's kingdom and his heart for all people in the world, and began to shape this urgency that I had to reach more people. A lot of times when I was overseas, people would ask me, do you see yourself called as a missionary overseas? And that question began to really gnaw at me, and I was praying about it a lot. And over time, I began to think, I do see myself as a missionary, but I don't see myself overseas. And that vision began to develop into a church planting vision here in the U.S. I thought I had the best chance of reaching people in this context and culture, which for me, I felt like I knew the most. So along with a close friend and colleague, Pete Boel, we started Hope Church in 1997. Pete's also a Gordon grad. And interestingly, my doctoral thesis, which at the time felt like sort of a daunting academic requirement and burden for me, became a very practical and engaging aspect of shaping my vision for my career and for my calling, which I guess is what a doctor of ministry is supposed to do, really help you in a very practical way, and mine definitely did. So we started Hope Church to try to be a place that could reach people for Christ with a solid biblical depth and engagement, but a kind of lively, relational, incarnational way of being human together and helping people with the realities of what our lives are like, have an opportunity to meet Christ and come home to life in a relationship with the Lord. So that's been really the main premise of our church planning initiative, and we're celebrating 25 years this fall. And I'm really grateful to Gordon-Conwell for the solid foundation, for that sense of orthodoxy and placing our vision in the long sweep of the church's history and helping us have a vision to keep moving forward in God's calling in our day. Thanks, everybody.